You wake me up in the middle of the night, I go fill up that red hot water bottle bag because it's one of the things that kind of help them, so she puts it on my belly. Also for men out there, that's just one of the ways you can be of help, you can be of support. You cannot bear the pain for them. All right, guys. Yeah, this is going to be men's takeover. You know what? I told the producer, like, can I just sneak into the studio and just be part of this Endo Warriors kind of stuff? I think I've been here twice now. I think so. Yeah, but I just felt like I need to sneak in behind my wife and also, try to talk, and address, men about this endometriosis. I know it's not men's condition, but there is a lot, that the men can also do. Yeah, so I'm doing this video as a support to my wife because, as a matter of fact, I'm kind of like encouraged to see that the pace and the dedication that she has put into this thing. Because initially when she said she was gonna do this, I thought like within 2 weeks or 3-4 weeks, everything will have died down. But man, she's taking it like a second job now. Yeah, so it's all over everywhere. Hey, have you watched the video? Subscribe. And like you all know, information is power. So my takeover at this moment is to talk to the fathers, to talk to the brothers, to talk to the boyfriends. Yeah. To talk to men in the life of women. All right, so let's get into this. Yeah, so where do men come into play in this endometriosis condition? And before I dive into that, I know this month of March is actually Women's Month, and also it's a month of endometriosis awareness, so which is one of the reasons I want to also make sure I do something in this month of March. Yes, so let's dive into what is expected of the man. Yes, so I'll say majorly it has to be support and being a facilitator for the girl child, for the lady, for women, to support them in this journey. As a matter of fact, the journey is different for everybody. For some people it's a short journey, for some people it's a lifetime journey. Yeah, so it's more of like how can we support the women in our lives? Yeah, so as a brother, how can you support your sister? As a boyfriend, how can you support your girlfriend? As an husband, how can you support your wife? As a father, how can you, support your girl, child? Yes, so before we've talked about what to look for when we are talking about endometriosis. Yes, so we've talked about it, but I would still love to go over it again. So we all know that, the ladies, they go through what we call, menstruation. And menstruation, on a normal day, it comes, with, some level of pain. But usually within 1, 2, 3 days of the menstruation, the pain fizzles away. Some people might need some, little, pain medication and all over, and they forget about it until the next month. But for people with endometriosis, anytime they even know that their menstruation is coming up, it's kind of like a scary, they're anxious because they know it comes with a lot of pain. So the symptoms include things like severe pain, beyond the ordinary during menstruation. Many of them experience like a heavy bleeding, during their menstruation. Many of them experience, even pain with defecation, with their bowel movements, which is more pronounced during menstruation. It can even happen outside of menstruation. But I believe the one that's it's most pronounced that we as men can notice is the pain. Yes, so the pain is the most noticeable one for us. Yes, so like the thing is that it's very obvious. You see many of them when they are undergoing their menstruation, it's like they are kind of like everything goes down. Some of them, they find it hard to go to school. Some people find it hard to go to work. Some people, are just laying down in bed all day. Yes, so it's something that everybody in the house notices that something is wrong with this person. Some people may be like, oh, she's pretending, especially like teenagers, they'll be like, it's because she doesn't want to do house chores, and all those stuff. I know some people can hide under that, like their menstrual cycle and be like, oh, I'm in a lot of pain. But the thing is that once you see the ladies, start complaining every month, you see that repeated pattern of pain, of distress with their menstruation, then, something is not normal. Yeah, so this is where probably we come in. Yeah, so we can encourage them to go and see their doctor. I mean, they could start from their primary care, who is going to refer them to the gynecologist, for him to, he or she to further examine and see why are they having, this severe menstrual pain. Yeah, so there's this trend of believing that, oh, we just need to give them higher pain medication that can handle pain. But once this comes like a repeated stuff, like every month, you want to kind of like dive deep into why this person, is experiencing this severe menstrual pain. So like I said, pain is the biggest indicator that can make us to know that something is actually going on. For them, it goes beyond pain with menstruation. For them, like I said, pain with bowel movements. For people that are married, like they could have pain with sexual activity. That's like after the menstruation, of which like I'm a witness to that, because my wife, our own endometriosis. I remember when we first got married and all those stuff, I just discovered that, man, this babe doesn't like to, you know what I'm saying? Like she'll cause some trouble so that, that thing will not want to happen. But then, there's a reason why she's trying to hide. But I think eventually she's like, oh, you know what? It's always painful, so we had to get into taking care of it seriously. Actually, I think that's where we started from. That was, I'm like, this thing is not, it's not normal. This should be the stage of enjoyment in this relationship. Yeah, so that is how, we got to start seeking treatment to see like, why is this person having pain with sexual activity? And also, I've always known her right from before we got married, even when we got married, that once it comes to a menstrual cycle, man, it's everything goes down, everything shuts down, around her in the house. Yeah, so once you notice that, it's time for us to support them. Yeah, so, and how can we support? See, like I said, it's men's takeover. The thing is that it doesn't affect us, but you can forward this video, to all the ladies, all the women in your life. Yes, so because the thing is that information is power. Some people are going through this experience, they just believe that, oh, it's menstrual pain. Menstrual pain shouldn't be debilitating. It shouldn't, shut your world down. Yeah, so one of the things you can do, like my wife has been saying, subscribe, view, and forward it to all the ladies in your life. Your sister, your mom, your girlfriend, your girlfriend's, friends, so like when they hear it, all these awareness videos we are doing, some of them, if they are undergoing some of these symptoms, they may be like, oh, you know what? I think I need to seek more care. And the reason why more care needs to be sought early is that if you don't seek care early enough, it can cause more damage in the future. About infertility. Endometriosis is one of the leading causes of infertility, of which if endometriosis is caught early, there are a lot of treatments that can be instituted and to make sure that in the future infertility doesn't become, the problem of the girl child. Yeah, so support system, let's encourage them to seek care, and when they are undergoing, their menstruation, whatever support we can provide for them. I know for my wife, like when she's going through, we have different kind of hot water bottle, like, I make hot water bottle during the day, I make hot water bottle during the day. Can you go get me, hot water, So like, but thank God, like for the grace, I know she's going through. So you wake me up in the middle of the night, I go fill up that red hot water bottle bag, because it's one of the things that kind of help them, So she puts it on her belly. I think, kind of part of the things that, help her. Also for men out there, that's just one of the ways you can be of help, you can be of support. You cannot bear the pain for them. Yes, so, but you can support them in this journey, which is why, I'm like, okay, let me come to this studio and also do something to talk to the men in the life of women, that have endometriosis, to see how they can support them. Yes, so I might likely be coming again to this studio, to support my wife on these awareness videos that she's doing. I see she's deeply interested in it. She's taking it as it's more like a ministry for her right now. Definitely it's a second job, man. Like she's more serious with these videos nowadays. I mean, like everybody, have you watched it? Have you subscribed? Have you forwarded it? So like, have you watch? I want to support her, and a level of support. I actually followed her to New York. Sometimes this month, they were doing like endometriosis awareness. They were actually doing a conference in New York in which several women from different parts of this country came over there. Doctors that have been treating many of them came over there to talk about, how to better manage, and how to better support them. The least I could do is like, hey, you know what? I'll follow you to New York, So it was me, her, and our little daughter. And funny enough, man, I have 2 daughters. Yeah, so I supported my wife. I prayed that my daughters will not have endometriosis. But then, it makes me to want to pay attention to, it raises my level of awareness to look out for whatever is out of norm, in their lives. Yeah, so men out there, this is to encourage you. If you also want to come to this studio, man, just give me a call. I'll bring you to the studio. All right, man, see you later.